Further afield, the World Bank predicts that Ukraine's economy would shrink by almost half this year as a result of the war with Russia. The bank forecasts that Russia's invasion will cause more economic damage across Eastern Europe and parts of Asia than the coronavirus pandemic. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines from across the globe.
The World Bank says the Russia-Ukraine war has shut half of the country's businesses and slashed exports. Ukraine is the world's biggest exporter of sunflower oil, and the shutdown of the exports has affected global food prices. The World Bank's vice president said Ukraine needed massive financial support immediately. The bank has sent almost $1 billion of assistance to Ukraine so far and has promised a further $2 billion in the coming months. It said the closure of Black Sea shipping from Ukraine had cut off some 90% of the country's grain exports and half of its total exports. The World Bank said the war had made economic activity impossible in large parts of the country, disrupting farming and harvesting operations. Meanwhile, thousands of Sri Lankans have taken to the streets to demand the resignation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The island nation is facing its worst economic crisis since gaining independence from Britain in 1948, highlighted by food shortages, soaring prices and power cuts. Sri Lanka currently cannot afford to pay for imports of staple foods and fuel, leading to acute shortages and very high prices. The government blames the pandemic, which diminished Sri Lanka's tourist trade. However, experts say economic mismanagement is to blame. The economic factor is Sri Lanka chose to focus more on its domestic markets instead of exporting to foreign ones. So, income from exports remained low while the bill for imports kept growing. Finally, Elon Musk has decided not to join the board of Twitter, the company's chief executive Parag Agrawal said. Musk's appointment was due to become effective on Saturday after revealing last week that he had bought a 9.2% stake in the social media platform. However, Agrawal tweeted that Elon shared that he will no longer be joining the board. The Tesla's boss remains Twitter's largest shareholder, and the firm will remain open to these input. Over the weekend, Musk suggested changes to Twitter Blue Premium subscription service, including slashing its price, banning advertising, and giving the option to pay in cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.